Basic meditations for managing emotions. Introduction. Hello and welcome. In this talk, we are going to look at some basic meditation practices that can be helpful in managing emotions. Before we begin, I would like to make one important clarification. This is not a guided meditation session. If you have followed our earlier guided meditation series, you may remember that those sessions were designed especially for beginners. In those podcasts, you were actually guided through meditation practices. What we are doing today is different. Today, I am not going to ask you to close your eyes and meditate with me. Instead, I am going to describe some basic factors that may be useful to a person who is planning to start meditation, particularly with the intention of developing better emotional control. So, think of this talk as an introduction to meditation for emotional management, rather than as a meditation session itself. And there is another important limitation. We are not going to discuss all meditation techniques here. For example, breathing meditation will be introduced separately at a later stage. For the moment, our attention will be mainly on some basic principles of meditation and on awareness practices involving the body. So let us begin. 1. First, understand why you are meditating. There are many different meditation techniques, and although these techniques may involve different mental activities, there are some basic factors that are common to meditation in general. 3 things are particularly useful. Choosing a suitable place, becoming familiar with the procedure, and understanding the purpose of meditation. If your purpose is emotional management, you should be clear about what you are trying to develop. You are not simply trying to sit quietly for 10 or 15 minutes. You are trying to develop certain mental abilities. One of the most important of these is the ability to become aware of what is happening within you. Think about what happens when you become angry. Often, we recognize the anger only after it has already become quite strong. But there may have been changes in the body and mind before the anger became obvious. Perhaps there was tension in the body. Perhaps your breathing changed. Perhaps you became restless. Perhaps your thoughts became increasingly focused on what the other person had done. If we can develop the ability to notice such changes earlier, we may have a better opportunity to respond appropriately. This is one reason why developing awareness can be useful in emotional management. Learning 2. Choosing a suitable place. Let us now consider the place where you practice. For a beginner, it is useful to choose a relatively quiet place where there are fewer sudden disturbances. If possible, interruptions from children, pets, telephones, and other activities should be minimized. Strong smells should also be avoided. The place should not be excessively dark, because darkness may encourage sleepiness or sluggishness. These may seem like very minor matters, but when you are learning meditation, unnecessary disturbances can make the task more difficult. It is also useful to pay attention to your posture. A sitting posture is necessary for some practices, particularly breathing meditation, and is also preferred for several other meditation techniques. However, when we are developing awareness of the body and its movements, the possibilities are much broader. So meditation does not always mean sitting completely still. Learning 3. What is the actual meditation? There is an important point here that beginners sometimes overlook. When we start meditation, we normally need something to tell us where the mind should be directed. For example, if we are practicing awareness of the body becomes our area of interest. We can think of this as establishing a kind of domain of interest. At the beginning, we may use words, symbols, memories, or other supporting ideas to help us identify this domain and understand what we are supposed to do. But we should distinguish these supporting activities from the actual meditation. The actual meditation takes place through the mental action that we are practicing. As the meditation progresses, the supporting activities should gradually become less prominent. So, if you are beginning meditation and you find yourself spending some time remembering the instructions or identifying what you should attend to, don't become discouraged. That is part of learning. With practice, the actual meditation becomes more natural.